almost fainted. Then something surreal happened. Comment bubbles began floating before my eyes. Can someone please tell the heroine he's only faking his death? Phineas's canary flew off when it found out about the wedding, so he faked his death overnight and flew abroad to chase his ex. The heroine's crying at his grave, the canary's crying in his bed. I'm furious. What a pity. When he comes back from faking his death, the heroine will know nothing and marry him all happy and clueless. Half a month later, news of my engagement to the heir of a wealthy family spread all over City A. One of Phineas's close friends, who was in on everything, rushed over to confront me in a panic. Phineas just died not long ago and you're already moving on to the next guy. He's dead. Am I supposed to mourn him for the rest of my life? When those floating comments appeared before my eyes, I thought I was hallucinating from the grief. But they didn't stop. If the heroine goes up to the rooftop now, she'll find out the male lead isn't actually dead. She's barely eaten for 2 days because of him. How could she even make it to the rooftop? Dragging my lead-heavy legs, I made my way toward the rooftop. Only a few stairs left. And I heard a voice I knew too well, lightly mocking. My funeral's still going on. The voice came from Phineas's best friend Ryan's phone. Not over yet, Phineas. What about Fiona? She suspect anything, Ryan? No way. She's been running around handling everything. Yesterday she almost fainted from crying. She's probably still in her room crying right now. Phineas sounded casual. Then comfort her a bit more on my behalf. Another friend. Simon chimed in. But Phineas, you're really into that little songbird of yours. How you went so far as to fake your death and fly all the way to the UK for your ex, and even roped us all into this act. The comments were right. I gripped the stair railing tightly. Every cell in my body was trembling. I heard Phineas say, whether I'm into her or not, that's none of your business. Just keep it from her. Ryan asked, so are you still getting married? Of course. When I get back the wedding goes on as planned. But before marriage, can't I go a little crazy for love? Well, when you put it like that. Once I'm married, I'll have to revolve around one person. I won't get another chance like this. Haha. The three of them laughed knowingly. But in my veins my blood had frozen like ice. I couldn't stop shaking. I had prayed countless times for the chance that Phineas might still be alive. But I never imagined it would be like this. The comments came faster now, urgent. She saw the truth. Please let her wake up in time. Go out there and rip that scumbag apart. But I didn't rush out and expose them. I turned around. Quietly walked back down the stairs. After gagging into the toilet for a while, I looked at the woman in the mirror. Red, sleep-deprived eyes. Gaunt and exhausted. I splashed some water on my face. Wiped away the tear streaks with a towel. The comments kept coming. See, she found out the truth but chose to swallow it in silence. So frustrating. Well, she loves him. She heard he'd still marry her and decided to endure it. I think she's not blowing things up yet because she's planning a bigger move. I walked out of the room. Ryan handed me 2 tissues. His face was full of concern. Sis, don't be too upset. Phineas is in a better place now. He wouldn't want to see you like this. I looked up at the fake solemnity on his face. Do you think there's a chance Phineas isn't really dead? For half a second Ryan looked flustered. But he quickly steadied himself. Why would you say that Phineas's clothes and shoes were recovered? You saw them yourself. 1 week ago. Phineas drove into the river in the middle of the night. The police assumed he had tried to escape the car and got swept away by the strong currents. I stayed at the riverside all night without shutting my eyes once. The rescue team searched the river for several days and only found his coat and shoes. I was so devastated I nearly passed out. Today was supposed to be our wedding day. I was holding our photo album crying so hard it made my head throb. And now they're telling me this was all a setup. All my grief had been nothing but a joke. Of all things, the male lead had to learn how to keep a mistress that's so low. Same. I started reading this thinking it was going to be a super sweet romance, and now it's just crap. The heroine's such a stunning rich girl. If he doesn't want her, I'll take her in a heartbeat. The nausea and heartache surged all at once. The only relief came from the kind words and praise in the comment bubbles. Ryan added, "Sis, don't overthink it. If Phineas could see you now, he'd be heartbroken." Heartbroken. What an ironic word. Just this morning, I was still thanking him for helping me with Phineas's funeral arrangements. Now I see, they were cut from the same rotten cloth. With help from the comments, I tracked down the account of Phineas's canary on Douyin. That's when I realized she'd shown up right under my nose many times before. Her name was Aurelia, a rising internet celeb signed under Phineas's media company. Her handle was Pearl. Her latest post was a street scene in London. Two hands tightly clasped, a wind-blown embrace after a long journey. There was a familiar mole on the man's hand, right at the base of his thumb. I knew it too well. The caption read, "Back in the days of our purest love, he left behind an arranged marriage with a social match and crossed over 10,000 kilometers to find me. Turns out the wind that carried thoughts of me did blow from city A to London." The video went viral. The comment section was full of people swooning over the romance. The canary escapes and the CEO chases love across the world. Fiction becoming reality. I've seen this plot. Sis, your sugar daddy truly loved you. That fiancé was just a stepping stone to your love story. Romantics are always born into rich families. Give me a sugar daddy too, please. Comment bubbles popped up again. Are these commenters for real? This isn't canary romance. This is side chick lit. Okay. Arranged fiancé, please. These people love glorifying scumbags. The heroine's so-called engagement target was the actual villain in the story. Phineas and I were never in an arranged marriage. I met him in high school. Back then, my parents had already picked a match for me, Jason Ning, the heir to the wealthy Ning family. But I didn't want to marry him. My parents were only together for business interests. All my life I watched them act loving in public, then come home each with their own partners. The rare moments they were together always ended in endless fights and accusations. I was sick of this fake, broken version of family. So I resisted arranged marriage with all my might. In our second year of high school, Phineas became the boy who sat behind me. At my lowest moments he approached like a cheerful puppy wagging its tail. Saying yes to his confession felt natural. We went from school uniforms to wedding gowns. Just recently we even returned to our alma mater to give a speech together. Everyone envied us. People said we were the perfect high school romance brought to life. I basked in their admiration, thinking I'd found true love. I had no idea the man I believed would never betray me had already taken in a canary behind my back. That girl called him hubby in her videos. She posted cutesy clips titled "A Day in the Life with My Sugar Daddy," and thousands of followers begged her to post more. Phineas would hug her, dancing with her to trendy hand gesture songs. His face was never shown, but it was obvious he was enjoying it. All those business trips were spent with her. The countless nights I thought he was working overtime. He was actually enjoying another woman's arms. Once I told him not to overwork himself. He said, "I want your parents to respect me. I want to earn more money and give you a wedding everyone will envy." 5 minutes before the accident, Phineas sent me a message: "No matter what happens, Phineas will always love you." I cried every time I read that message. But now, everything has popped like a bubble. Bet the male lead already came up with a backup lie, like he floated downstream, got picked up by a family and developed amnesia. And the worst part, the heroine believed it and married him anyway, starting a life of misery, dying in the cycle of forgiving him over and over. Who's still writing this? Outdated suffering woman drama. But wait, the plot's twisted. The heroine found out the truth beforehand. Please let her break the cycle. I walked down one floor. Phineas's mother was sitting on the living room couch. When she saw me come down, her tear-swollen eyes glared at me. If you hadn't begged my son to come back, he never would have driven into that river. You're the reason he's dead. Phineas had been out of town on business. The day after the accident was the day we were supposed to try on wedding outfits. He drove at night and went off the road into the river. When I first got the news, I held back my grief to comfort Mrs. Jean. But she shoved me away. You're a walking curse, you killed my son. A lucky girl should never marry into a doomed family. Run while you still can, girl. She won't. A few days ago his mother already called her a jinx. And she felt horribly guilty, blaming herself for everything. After getting abused by that old witch, the fake dead fiancé comes back and abuses her all over again. I had never gotten along with Mrs. Jean. Before the accident, Phineas promised we wouldn't live with her after marriage. But over these past few days, guilt made me silently endure her tantrums. Now though, seeing her clutching Phineas's black and white photo like that, she looked so ridiculous I couldn't help but laugh. She exploded. What are you laughing at? She lunged forward, trying to slap me. Simon quickly stepped in to block her. Auntie, calm down. Sis is just overwhelmed with grief. She's not in her right mind. Don't take it to heart. Ryan added. Sis just apologized to her. I walked slowly toward Mrs. Jean. She thought I was going to comfort her again and turned her head away in disgust. Whatever you say, I'll never forgive you. You were just engaged. You're not getting a cent of his inheritance. But I merely bent down and whispered in her ear, your son deserved to die. And you old hag, when are you joining him? She clutched her chest, staggering backward onto the sofa. Ha ha ha, the old witch got wrecked. I'm waving my flag for our heroine. Who dares stand against her now? So satisfying, she's done catering to that monster. Chaos erupted among the relatives. Everyone rushed to crowd around Mrs. Jean. She pointed at me with trembling fingers. She really killed my son. Ryan, call the police. Have her arrested. No wonder the male lead turned out like that. His mom's full-on psycho. Our girl's finally fighting back. Wyases. Please let her truly move on. I'm scared she'll fold the second he comes back. Tears shimmered in my eyes. If Auntie hates me so much, I have no choice but to move out of the Jean house. Don't say that in anger, sis. I'm not angry. Let it go. The longer I stay, the more pain she'll be in. I've made up my mind. I'm leaving. Ryan and Simon exchanged nervous glances. This had clearly spiraled beyond what they expected. Ryan went into a corner and sent Phineas a message. Phineas said, that's just how my mom is. It wasn't easy raising me. You should tell Fiona to cut her some slack. But your mom kept yelling at her. She's dead set on moving out. Then let her. Getting her to move back later is just a matter of me saying the word. All right. Then I won't try to talk her out of it. Of course I couldn't hear what they were saying. But thanks to the comment bubbles, I knew exactly what their conversation was about. After packing up all my belongings from the bedroom, my best friend Alice called a moving company for me. Fiona, are you really okay? She asked gently. She had witnessed me breaking down in tears just days ago. I'm fine. I shook my head. Right now I just want to find a place and move out as soon as possible. Suddenly she remembered something. My brother has an apartment. He hasn't been back since moving abroad. You can stay there for a while until you find a new place. The comment bubbles flared up. Our brooding obsessive villain is finally entering the scene. Sadly, he didn't get much storyline in the original. But I really liked his character concept. He sent the heroine a message and she still hasn't replied. His darkness meter is probably rising. The villain Jason, I didn't even have him on WeChat, just an old QQ contact from middle school. His QQ account seemed hacked. Every couple of months, it would send me some sketchy link. Worried about viruses, I never clicked. and even muted the notifications. So I completely missed the message he'd sent me a week ago. Do you need help? That night news of the full-scale rescue effort for Phineas spread across City A. A video of me crying during an interview went viral on Douyin. Many people mourned Phineas's early death and empathized with me. Jason had sent the message that very day. I hadn't seen it. So naturally, I never replied. After thinking about it, I responded politely. No thank you. His reply came instantly. Okay. I suddenly remembered the day Phineas confessed to me. He asked me to meet him in the grove beside the school building. The wind was strong that day. As I tucked the hair away from my face, I saw Jason standing at the far end of the corridor above. His hands rested casually on the railing, his dark eyes watching me silently. I looked at him, then lowered my gaze. Smiling, I said yes to Phineas. Okay. When Phineas kissed me on the cheek and I looked up again, Jason was gone. Only the tree branches trembled violently in the wind. Snapping back to the present. Almost everything I owned was packed and moved. A framed photo of Phineas and me by the bed had been knocked to the floor. I stepped on it with my heels, shattering the glass into countless splinters. He may still be alive. But in my heart he was already dead. As I walked out of the Jean house, Mrs. Jean was still yelling behind me. Don't you ever come back, and don't even think about visiting my son's grave on tomb sweeping day. That old witch is so paranoid the heroine will fight for inheritance. Girl. Please, the heroine's family is loaded. She wouldn't want those scraps even if you begged her to. What is he, an emperor? Visiting his grave is supposed to be some kind of honor. A dog wouldn't bother. Please, Auntie, that's enough, Simon said. Simon and Ryan walked me to the gate. Sis, if you need anything, just let us know. No need, I said. I want to be alone. Honestly, sis. You might be right, Ryan added. Phineas could still be alive. The police never recovered his body. Maybe we just need to wait. It might still end well. Comment bubble. The male lead's scared. She'll hurt herself after moving out, so now he's got his friends feeding her false hope. Little does he know. Our heroine already knows the truth. These three clowns think they're running the show. Actually, I owned several properties, but they were all rented out. I wasn't about to kick anyone out just because I needed a place. So I accepted Alice's suggestion and temporarily moved into her brother's empty villa. When Alice handed me the key, I asked, "Your brother's not suddenly coming back? Is he?" "No, I just talked to him recently. He said he has no plans to return for now. Even if he does come back, he never stays there. He always goes to the main house. You'll be fine." I slept for 2 days straight. When I woke up, the swelling around my eyes had finally gone down. That night Alice invited me to a bar for a few drinks. After a few rounds, I saw Ryan and his friends walk in. I didn't want to talk to them, so I turned my head and pretended not to notice. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Ryan take a photo of me from the side and send it to Phineas. Phineas ran into Sis drinking alone at the bar. Should I go comfort her? Yeah, I really messed this one up. She's been through a lot, Phineas replied. Ryan put away his phone and started walking toward me. But halfway there another message popped up from Phineas. Forget it. Don't bother. Let her feel the pain of losing me. When I come back from the dead, she'll cherish me even more, won't she? Chapter 9. Well, that's true. Phineas, you really know your stuff. Just keep an eye on her for me. It's crowded in the bar. I just don't want her getting into any danger. On-screen comment. Dontalthajeton to danger loopy. Come on bro, don't fool yourself along with the rest of us. Someone else mocked. Bro. Do you dare try the fake death that's actually real challenge and scare the hell out of us? Simon sighed dramatically. When will I ever meet a girlfriend like Fiona? So devoted, so beautiful. And from such a good family. Sigh. I'd die for a girl like that. Ryan glanced at him. Maybe now's your chance to steal her from Phineas. I wouldn't dare. If Phineas comes back, I'll be the first guy he kills. Over the years with Phineas, some of his friends had secretly hit on me. Once Phineas found out, he cut them off without hesitation. But that kind of cheap possessiveness doesn't equal loyalty. Just then a phone notification popped up. You've got a new video from Pearl Vlog. 23 days till my sugar daddy returns to his home country. Today he took me to see the Northern Lights. A heartbroken comment appeared. Why does he have to go back? Can't he just stay with you forever? Aurelia replied. I'm just here for his money and body. Duh. He's staying with me for a month before going back for his arranged marriage. Then I'll find my next target. Commenters cried out. No, this is too cruel. Sob sob. God, I hate those entitled fiancés with zero boundaries. Get lost. On-screen comment. Wow, this Mistress really acts chill. Huh, but we all know you flew back to the country not long after he did. Exactly. And you moved into the Jean family house under the excuse of being Phineas's cousin, walking in and out of their marital home like you belonged. I'm a truck driver with a semi. Let's hit the highway. I feel like running someone over. These days I kept rewatching her videos. It was like carving Phineas out of my heart with a dull knife. Painful, but effective. My grief was slowly turning into disgust. Watching the two of them play lovey-dovey again, I felt nothing but survivor's relief. So eager to put your happiness on display for the world. Well, I might just help you with that. I sent her account to a media friend. Got a scoop for you. Interested? Chapter 10. I had a few too many drinks at the bar. By the time I got home, it was late at night. The alcohol dulled my senses and I didn't notice the subtle changes in the house. Feeling groggy, I went upstairs. After washing up, I was ready to pass out. I pushed open the bedroom door, didn't even bother turning on the lights, and slid under the covers. But the warmth in the bed felt off. I reached out and touched a solid burning hot body, followed by a low grunt from a man. I shot up only for my hands to be pinned to the mattress. Who's there? Click, the lights came on. Before me was a man's pale, sculpted chest, smooth as white jade. On-screen comment flood. This POV is killing me, I'm so turned on. Come on baby girl, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and suck. His eyes narrowed under the sudden light. When he saw it was me, his gaze froze. Fiona, it took me 2 seconds to connect the man in front of me with the teenage Jason I once knew. You're hurting me, Jason. He quickly let go of my wrists. His Adam's apple bobbed as he reached for a nearby sheet, turned away, and draped it over me. I glanced down and noticed my camisole had slipped off my shoulder at some point. Jason got out of bed. I saw the flush on his ears as he turned his back to me and slipped on his shirt and pants. This wasn't the first time I'd entered the wrong room, but this room was always locked. When the door wouldn't open, I'd know it wasn't mine. But tonight the door was unlocked. I walked right in and then Ollie told me I could stay here temporarily. I'm not familiar with the place yet. I must have gone into the wrong room. Jason turned to look at me. His shirt was hastily buttoned, only the bottom few done. His pale collarbone framed deep chest muscles and his detached gaze fell on me. You stay. I'll go back to the main house. On-screen comment. Cold villain face. I'll go home. Now, / actual inner monologue. Please ask me to stay. I can't even. Just imagining the villain in a suit carrying our girl in his arms, kissing away her tears. I'd lose it. It actually happens later in the plot. Well, she runs away after a fight with the scumbag male lead, gets picked up and locked up by the now darkened villain. He kisses her, gets slapped 7 to 8 times. I lived for that. I suspected the comment section was making things up, but I had no proof. Jason's gaze held no emotion, and his first instinct after learning I was staying here was to go back to his family home. Lock me up. That didn't sound like something he'd do. You don't have to leave. It's late. Besides, this is your home too. His hand halfway through putting on his watch paused. I added, sorry for waking you. I'll head back to my room. The next morning I woke up. I thought Jason might have already left. But when I stepped out of the room, I saw him sitting at the dining table. He looked up at me. Morning. The once rebellious and youthful face of teenage Jason overlapped with the handsome, cool and mature man in front of me. I walked toward him, meeting his gaze. Morning. You're Jason. He curved his lips into a faint smile. You recognized me last night and now you don't. You've got quite the grip. My wrist's still red. I raised my wrist. There were faint marks still visible. Sorry, he said. Thought you were a robber last night. On-screen comment. Robber more like a thief who stole your heart. Keep pretending, buddy. We all know what you did lying in the spot where she just slept after she left. Hee hee. My ears grew a little warm. Want some milk? Jason asked. My ears grew a little warmer. Sure. He handed me a warm bottle of milk. Then pushed a croissant across the table. My assistant accidentally bought one too many breakfasts earlier. Thanks. I'll be staying here for a while. There's a new project nearby. If it bothers you. I said, it doesn't. This is your home anyway. Once I find a suitable place, I'll move out. I told Alice about Jason being back. Alice replied, that's my bad. I didn't even know my brother was back. Just last month when I asked him when he'd return, he said not till the new year. Me, it's okay. I just wanted to check. Alice, I asked Grandpa. Turns out there is a new project nearby, but my brother actually volunteered for it. That's why he ended up staying at your place. Me, got it. The day after tomorrow is my birthday. Phineas and I had originally planned to go to the Maldives for our honeymoon, and to celebrate my birthday too. Now all those plans are scrapped. My mom called me. Sweetie, Mommy booked a birthday dinner for you at our Rose Hotel the day after tomorrow. Make sure you dress up pretty. She and my dad had never really approved of my marriage to Phineas. When they heard about his death, they just transferred a few 100,000 yuan into my account to comfort me. Straightforward and to the point. After I hung up, a little red dot appeared on WeChat. It was a friend request from Jason. I accepted. His profile picture was a crescent moon hanging in the pitch-black night. Like a tear in the darkness. On-screen comment. We all know what that profile pic means, right? Let's give a round of applause to this man who spent every day using QQ to test if she'd blocked him, searched her WeChat ID 100 times, and finally sent a friend request today. Clap, clap, clap. I scrolled through his moments. It was mostly work-related. Occasionally there were posts of him hitting the gym, skydiving, paragliding, stuff like that. Back in high school, the number of girls chasing after Jason far outnumbered those after Phineas. He was the crown prince of the wealthy Ning family, basking in the attention of everyone around him. He always reminded me of my flirtatious father, constantly surrounded by beautiful women. After Phineas confessed his feelings to me, I hardly saw Jason on campus again. I heard he transferred to the international division and applied to colleges abroad. At the time, I even felt relieved. After dating Phineas for a while, our arranged marriage agreement naturally got called off. But now the comment section says if I don't reply to him, Jason's going to go full dark mode. Says he'll lock me up. That last night he. In any case, it's hard to link any of those descriptions with the man I know. Chapter 14. The night of the birthday banquet. The elites of City A gathered here. I played a favorite piece on the violin on stage. When the song ended, the audience burst into applause. Is that the rich Miss Fiona? She looks like a celebrity. She could totally make it in showbiz. But didn't her fiancé just die recently? She looks like she's doing great. I saw that interview clip where she cried, like some ethereal goddess. Made me want to cry too. On-screen comment. Why do the NPCs in this story sound kind of awkward when they talk? Probably because we're only reading text. We can't see the scene or feel the impact. Still, the heroine is so amazing. Honestly, the male lead is punching way above his weight. After stepping off stage, I spotted Ryan in the crowd. I hadn't even sent him an invitation. No idea how he got in. He waved. "Hey, sis-in-law." I walked over. "Don't call me that anymore. I never actually married him." "Alrighty," he scratched his head. "We were going through Phineas's stuff yesterday and found a birthday gift he'd prepared for you. He asked me to give it to you." He handed me a beautifully wrapped gift box. Attached was a small card, "To my beloved wife, Fiona." But the handwriting clearly wasn't Phineas's. On-screen comment. "Oh no. Is she about to get all emotional again after seeing this? Going through his belongings sounds nice. But come on, we all know Phineas just told him to go buy something last minute." "Got it. Just leave it over there." I looked away and pointed to a spot where heaps of gifts had already been piled up. Ryan paused. "Aren't you gonna open it? There are too many gifts." "I don't have time to open them all." As I walked away, he gave Phineas a full report. "Phineas' sis-in-law didn't seem interested in your gift." Phineas replied, "Are you dumb? Fiona's sentimental. If she opens it and gets overwhelmed and cries in front of everyone, that'd be way too embarrassing." Ryan. All right, you know her best." Ryan. "But people are saying the banquet's just a cover. It's really Fiona's family trying to line up a new engagement." Phineas. "Maybe you should come back early. The place is crawling with young eligible bachelors." Phineas. "Bullshit. She hates arranged marriages. Doesn't matter how many show up." Phineas. "I'll be back at the end of the month. The woman I'm with now is way too clingy. Even if I wanted to come back early, I couldn't." Seeing how stubborn he was, Ryan figured there was no point in pushing and went quiet. The crowd surged around me, with many coming to wish me happy birthday. My mom spoke meaningfully. "You know you're our only precious daughter. One day the company will be yours to run." She took my arm and guided me toward someone. "Sweetheart, Jason just returned to the country. I know you don't like him. But the Ning family is still." I said, "If he's willing, I have no problem." The bluntness of my answer made my cautious mother freeze in surprise. I admit, I used to be naive. Feelings shift in a heartbeat. Only interests last forever. The privileged life I've enjoyed for over 20 years stems from the stability of my family's century-old business. But in recent years, our company's been hit hard by rising competitors. Projects we once took for granted have been poached right out from under us. If we're talking interest-driven alliances, the Ning family is the best choice. Love or not, that stuff doesn't matter so much anymore. On-screen comment. "So this is what rich people matchmaking looks like." Someone flipped me back to the rural drama channel. Seriously, why can't the heroine just thrive on her own? Who needs marriage or alliances? I mean, marriage isn't so bad. If all men are pretty much the same, why not choose one who's rich and powerful? Someone who can help your family business, plus the villain is hot, didn't mess around in the original story. No major red flags. Get married and use him as a bedmate. Sounds like a win to me. Hee hee. In the distance, Jason Ning stood tall in a custom-fitted suit. Collar slightly open, radiating the elegance of a refined young heir. Old Mr. Ning stood by his side, speaking with him. Then the two of them walked toward me. Jason smiled. "Happy birthday, Fiona." I clinked glasses with him. "Thank you." After all the formal pleasantries between the families were exchanged, old Mr. Ning chuckled. "You two youngsters should spend more time getting to know each other." In the rooftop garden of the hotel, Jason and I found a quiet spot to talk about the engagement. He said, "If you don't want to, it's okay. You don't have to agree." On-screen comment. It's okay if you don't agree. Let's see him quietly lose it later tonight." Exactly. I'm not naming names. But who cried for 3 days straight in high school after seeing her say yes to someone else's confession? My heart gave a faint stir. Then I smiled and extended my hand. "Actually, I'm fine with it. Here's to a good partnership. He lowered his eyes and took my hand. The next second he gently tugged me into his arms by the wrist. The sound of camera shutters echoed around us as he leaned in and whispered beside my ear, "If we're going to be partners, we'll need to be a bit more intimate." Chapter 15. I froze for a moment before reacting. I wrapped my arms around his waist. The muscles at his sides tensed briefly as I leaned my head affectionately against his chest. The cameras snapped the perfect shot. Our two families immediately finalized the engagement between Jason and me. That very night the photo made the headlines. The engagement ceremony followed shortly after. At the end of it, I spotted Ryan and Simon Shang again. Both their faces were stormy. As soon as they saw me step out, they charged forward like they were demanding justice. On-screen comment: "What kind of spell did the male lead put on these two guys? Why are they still haunting the scene? She didn't even invite them. Not only did they not get in, they've been loitering around outside the whole time." Ryan frowned and confronted me. "Fiona, Phineas just died not long ago. And you're already rushing to find someone new?" I laughed. "He's dead. What do you want me to do? Mourn him for the rest of my life?" "But he's not actually," Simon Sheng blurted out, eager to spill the truth. But Ryan pulled on his arm and cut in. "Even so. This is way too fast, isn't it? Do you think that's fair to him? And just now, the police sent word. They said Phineas might still be alive." "He might be." "Hold on," I interrupted. "If you two feel so bad about it, and if he really does come back alive, then one of you can be the main partner and the other can be the side piece. How's that?" Ryan was left speechless. "That's not what I—" Footsteps sounded behind me. Jason walked over with several tall bodyguards. "Is there a problem here?" Simon Shang bowed and smiled awkwardly. No problem. We're just here to offer our congratulations." "Phone. Let's go." "No, seriously. I feel like she knows something." "Ryan, we need to call Phineas. Tell him to get back here fast. If they hold the wedding, it'll be too late for anything." Simon Shang: "Fine, you call him. I'm not messing with the Ning family." "When you were talking just now, I saw the head of the Ning family watching us from not far away. He looked like he wanted to kill someone. You may not be scared, but I sure as hell am." Chapter 16. The news of the engagement between the Ning family and my Song family spread across City A that very night. It even made the trending topics. Phineas, who was all the way in Europe, of course saw it too. In the photo, Fiona clung affectionately to Jason. One lowered his head. The other tilted hers up, their eyes locked in a stare full of sparks. Phineas suddenly sat up, shoving away the woman leaning against his chest. "Aurelia. What the hell? Why the sudden movement?" "I'm going back to China." Her eyes immediately welled up with tears. "Didn't you say you'd stay with me a few more days?" "What? Can't wait to rush into the prison of marriage now. If I don't go back, my wife's about to be taken away." Phineas didn't even look at her as he started packing. "Our thing here should come to an end anyway." Aurelia snorted. "The news says she's already engaged. Doesn't that mean she never really loved you? What makes you so sure she won't go through with the wedding even if you show up?" Phineas didn't bother explaining. "You don't get it. She's mine. No one else will do." Aurelia was better at pleasing him than Fiona. Obedient, willing to indulge him, good for a fling, for a thrill, but never wife material. "I'm coming with you," Aurelia said. "Relax, I'm not chasing after you. I've just gained 1 million new followers lately, and a dating reality show in China invited me. Who knows, I might become a big star." She emphasized the words dating show, hoping to trigger some emotion in him. But Phineas wasn't even listening. Good for you." He finished packing in a rush and booked the earliest flight home. On the way, a thought struck him. Fiona must have believed he really died. That's why she gave in and agreed to the family's arrangements. That thought calmed him down quite a bit. On the phone with Ryan, He said, "What are you panicking for? If she finds out I'm still alive, you really think she won't drop the engagement in a second? Really, Phineas, that Jason whatever guy, I never liked him. Even back in high school. Every time I was with Fiona, I'd catch him watching us with that creepy look. If I crash their wedding, don't you think it'll turn him into the joke of the rich elite?" But in the end, he couldn't wait for the actual wedding day. The moment the plane touched down, Phineas frantically dialed Fiona's number. As long as she heard his voice, she'd definitely call off the engagement. No hesitation. "Hello, Fiona." But what he got on the other end was an icy female voice. "The number you have dialed is not in service." The robotic tone instantly sent panic shooting through his chest. The engagement news might have flooded City A. But the wedding's location was kept tightly under wraps. He searched everywhere online and couldn't find a single clue. After frantic efforts, he finally pulled some strings and got the exact location. On the morning of the wedding itself. Racing there, Phineas kept rehearsing his dramatic speech to crash the wedding. He imagined the moment going viral. Fans across the internet losing their minds. His heart pounded with excitement. With all that attention, maybe he could even start live streaming and hawk some products. On-screen comment. In the male leads. Fantasy. He throws open the chapel doors. Under the shocked gazes of the elite guests, he takes the heroine's hand and says, "Will you come with me?" And she, eyes shining, leaves the villain behind without a second thought. In reality, there are so many security guards at the gate that he can't even get close to the chapel door. LOL. Blocked by security, Phineas shouted shamelessly, "I'm Fiona's fiancé, let me in." The previously stern-faced security guards couldn't help but laugh. "Buddy, everyone here knows today's the big wedding between young Master Ning and Miss Song. You yelling about being her fiancé? What mental hospital did you escape from?" Ha 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 ha. Phineas's face flushed bright red. He squatted by the roadside under the scorching sun. Finally, after enduring for what felt like forever, the wedding came to an end. The chapel doors opened and the heroine stepped out in a white wedding dress. She looked even more beautiful than he had imagined. But the man by her side was an eyesore. That man next to her should have been him. They were too far apart. He waved frantically, trying to get her attention. "Fiona, Fiona," but the noisy crowd instantly swallowed up his voice. At last Fiona turned around before getting into the car. She looked in his direction. If she just saw him, he was sure she'd drop everything and come back to him. But her gaze only briefly swept over him. With indifference. And then she got into the car. She must not have seen him. She had to have missed him. Even if they're married, she can still get divorced. It's fine. A passionless arranged marriage can't possibly win against the man she once loved so deeply, especially now that he's miraculously come back from the dead. Comforting himself with this thought, he returned home. Mrs. Jean rushed forward, sobbing and sniffling as she clung to him. "Did you see the news that slut Fiona actually married someone else? Didn't I always tell you, a girl who looks like that, there's no way she'd settle down. She didn't know I was alive. If she had, she'd divorce him for me in a heartbeat." Irritated, he shook off Mrs. Jin's hand. "Take down all the black and white mourning photos of me in the living room. They're damn unlucky." He opened the bedroom door and froze at the mess inside. Total chaos. Fiona's favorite photo had been smashed. Shards of glass littering the floor. On the bedroom's photo wall, every picture of them together had been torn in half. Furious, he yelled for Mrs. Jean to come upstairs. "Mom, are you insane? You didn't like Fiona, fine, so you drove her out. But why the hell did you destroy all our photos like this? You're blaming me. That little bitch wrecked the place herself. Why would I waste my time doing childish stuff like this, still denying it? Look at these photos. You scribbled her face out on all of them. You think she'd do that to herself? Can't you fix that awful temper of yours?" The more he thought about it, the angrier he got. "Go back to the old house for now. I never should have brought you here. Maybe if you hadn't driven her away, her family wouldn't have forced her into a marriage, so soon Mrs. Jean collapsed onto the floor in helpless frustration. And the comments section absolutely thrilled. Chapter 17. On the day of the wedding. I actually saw Phineas. He seemed so sure that I would abandon everything for him. In the rearview mirror, I saw him trying to chase the car, shouting my name. He was held down by 2 security guards and pinned to the curb. In the car, Jason asked, "What are you looking at? Just a clown," I said with a smile. He looked at me, and the corners of his lips lifted in a soft, gentle grin. "Don't just look at the clown. Look at me too." Night fell. Our wedding night. Jason was in unusually high spirits today and got dragged into drinking more than a few rounds. By the time he entered the room, he was slightly tipsy. He tugged off his tie, unbuttoned a few shirt buttons, and lay down on the bed. The defined lines of his chest rose and fell with each breath, painting the whole room in sensual hues. My heartbeat quickened uncontrollably. He lay there unmoving. He was probably too drunk to do that sort of thing. With that thought, I got up to grab my nightgown and take a shower. But as I passed him, he caught my wrist. He pulled me toward him and I landed on top of him. "Where are you going?" "To shower. Can I kiss you?" I gave a soft, He cupped the back of my neck and kissed me. But somehow mid-kiss I went from being on top to being beneath him. The kiss deepened, no longer a gentle tease but a full invasion, lips and tongue claiming every breath in my lungs. Feeling something shift, I gently pressed my hands against his chest. "Jason, I want to shower first." "Okay." He let go. Then he undid the rest of his shirt, bent down and scooped me up in his arms, walking toward the bathroom. "I can shower on my own." "Actually, I know." "Then why aren't you putting me down?" "Because I'm drunk, and I need your help." I was speechless. "Wait, this is what being drunk looks like. Is that okay, wife?" I didn't respond. The only answer he got was the sound of water sloshing over the edge of the tub, rippling across the floor. Chapter 18. The next morning I woke up. My back was to him and he had me wrapped in his arms. His arm draped over my waist, and his calm breathing fell softly against the nape of my neck. In my mind I couldn't help but recall the way those hands held me down last night. My cheeks flushed a little. And right on cue the comment section started acting up. Wait, what? I opened the next chapter and they're already in bed. Author. Where's the 10,000 words of steamy build-up I was promised? Explain yourself. Jason postponed several appointments. He took me abroad for our honeymoon. Far from City A, I left all the messy drama behind. Beautiful scenery really does have healing power. Still, during those first few days, I'd often wake up from nightmares. Then I'd just start crying for no reason at all. I thought I was being ridiculous, but I couldn't stop it. Jason went from helpless at first to eventually holding me in his arms, kissing away my tears little by little, coaxing me back to sleep. He had this faint, comforting scent that made me feel safe. In the latter half of the trip, the nightmares gradually stopped. His kisses also became less gentle. His method of helping me sleep changed too. He'd drain every bit of my energy, which actually worked pretty well. When we got back home, I found out I was trending again. As expected. Chapter 19. The latest shocking rich family engagement. Didn't the bride's fiancé just die? I swear I saw a video of her crying by the river. Is this some kind of gender swapped? The vanished. The man's body isn't even cold and she's already moved on to someone new, cold-hearted. Rumor has it the guy didn't actually die. He was rescued downstream by some random family. By the time he got back, his fiancée had already married someone else. A lot of people online were criticizing how fast I'd moved on. I was about to contact the media friend I had arranged things with to leak the dirt we'd prepared in advance. But the trending topics were taken down instantly. Clicking on the hashtags led to a blank page. Jason was faster than me. The online heat died down almost immediately. 2 days later, I ran into Phineas outside my company building. He had lost a lot of weight. His cheeks were sunken, looking even more haggard than I remembered. The moment he saw me, his eyes turned red. "Fiona, it's me. I'm Phineas." I looked at him with a blank expression. A flicker of surprise flashed in his eyes, but he still choked out, "Yes. I didn't die. I was just... You were just washed downstream and taken in by some family. And you lost your memory." I cut him off. "That's what you were going to say, right?" He froze. "If you already knew, then why didn't you come looking for me?" Comment section. What is this, a try not to laugh challenge? I lost. Does he think he's the male lead of a novel? Oh wait. He actually is. So what if he is the male lead? If he's trash, he still gets dragged. He grew agitated. "Do you even know what people are saying about you right now? They're calling you heartless for marrying someone else while my body was still warm. They're all attacking you. Do you know that? But it's okay. I know your family forced you. Just divorce him and we'll get married right away." "All right, no," I said, stepping back 2 paces. "Are you addicted to faking affection now? Faking your death to chase after some sugar baby overseas was fun for you, huh?" His eyes widened in disbelief. His voice trembled. How do you know about that? Was it Ryan or Simon Changye?" "I should thank them actually," I said bluntly. At first I didn't believe it. But then they gave me your and the Canaries' accounts. I watched all your videos. You two look so happy together. "Fiona, I'm sorry. I really messed up. I know I was wrong." His eyes were filled with guilt and regret. He even looked like he was about to kneel before me. Chapter 20. Wifey. Jason stepped out of his Bentley. Lately he'd been coming to pick me up from work every day. I walked over and wrapped my arms around his. "Hubby, there's this guy bothering me. I'm scared." The tall, broad-shouldered man walked right past Phineas, grabbed my hand and pulled me behind him. "Who are you and what business do you have with my wife?" The scene hit Phineas like a knife to the heart. His eyes burned red and his knees hung awkwardly between kneeling and standing, caught in limbo. "I'm Phineas, her former fiancé." "Jason. Oh, if I remember correctly. Weren't you dead, your body soaked in the river for so long? How are you not bloated like a corpse by now?" Phineas clenched his fists. "What are you so proud of, you and her? This is just an arranged marriage. Arranged or not, it got me a wedding with her. What's the problem?" Jason curled his lips into a cold smirk. "And you, what are you besides the guy who only made her cry?" The comment section lit up with glee. "Exactly. Send the male lead back into the river." Fun fact, the only reason Phineas could go head-to-head with the villain was because he took over the Song family business. Now that the heroine isn't marrying him, he's just got that rickety little media company. The villain could squash him like an ant. Like, come on, using a cannon to kill a mosquito. Phineas raised a fist. But before he could throw a punch, the Ning family bodyguards had already grabbed him and hauled him away. I looked at him. There was nothing in my eyes but cool disgust. "Do me a favor, don't ever show up in front of me again. You make me sick." Chapter 21. That night, Jason, normally so polite and controlled, was completely out of character in bed. He pinned my wrists, veins standing out beneath his skin, voice hoarse with emotion. "Why do you only call me husband in front of him when it's just the two of us? Why have you never said that to me?" "Good question." "Why indeed? Because you never told me you wanted to hear it." "I want to hear it." "Hubby, say it again." His love overflowed, glistening in the corners of his eyes. "I'm better than him. More obedient. Choose me." "Okay." I forgot how many times I whispered okay. By the second half of the night, my voice was completely hoarse. He kissed my sweat-drenched forehead as my eyelids grew heavy from exhaustion. I vaguely heard him whisper, "I love you, Fiona." Chapter 22. Elsewhere, Phineas, furious, stormed up to Ryan and Simon Sheng. Without a word, he started swinging punches at them. On-screen comment, The heroine said that on purpose. To get the male lead to go beat up his own buddies. That's how you deal with guys like this. Let the dogs turn on each other. LOL. Ryan and Simon, after taking several hits, got pissed off too. What the hell is wrong with you? Haven't we been helping you enough? We almost got on the Ning family's bad side for you. And you're not even grateful. What the hell? 2 fists were no match for 4 hands. Phineas was quickly pinned to the ground, unable to fight back. You trashy bastard. You screw up your own life chasing women, then blame us. I was even defending you. During their engagement ceremony, lying there like a beaten dog, his phone rang. It was Aurelia. Her piercing cries came through the receiver. What do I do? My account got exposed. I told you to delete those videos. I did. I hid them all, but someone must have screen recorded everything. What now? Wah. They want me to pay. Breach of contract penalties on that dating show deal. Everything I earned these past few months is going down the drain. Can you send me some money? Get lost. I've got nothing for you. If you hadn't filmed all that crap, I wouldn't have lost her. The 2 of them got into a screaming match over the phone. Later, word got out that Phineas's company had hit a financial crisis. His early reckless spending had left him with no capital to make a comeback. As for his little canary's celebrity dreams, crushed. The whole internet found out she was a homewrecker and dragged her mercilessly. Netizens, ever resourceful, pieced together all the clues from the videos and matched the sugar daddy to Phineas, uncovering the full story. From that day on, Phineas became synonymous with scumbag. People said even stray dogs would spit if they heard his name. One night, after failing repeatedly to find a job, Phineas wandered aimlessly along the riverbank. Suddenly fireworks bloomed brilliantly across the sky. He stared up, a flicker of hope lighting in his chest, until the colors formed words. Happy first anniversary, Mrs. Ning. The crowd around him cheered. Ah, that's from Jason to his wife. I'm so jealous. Just another day of me being an NPC in someone else's love story. Hearing that, Phineas felt like his chest was about to explode. Tears streamed down his face. He climbed over the railing and jumped into the dark, churning river. But he didn't die. Someone pulled him out. That person said, "Don't thank me. I just didn't want the food delivery guy's effort to go to waste." Like a beaten stray, Phineas slinked out of City A. He returned to his hometown, doing nothing but freeload off his parents, locking himself away. After that, the comment section went silent. I didn't know where he went. And I didn't care. The only person I cared about. His name is Jason. The so-called villain, who rumor said cried for 3 days and nights after I accepted someone else's confession in high school. 2 years after marrying him was when I finally found the courage to give him my whole heart. He was patient. In every little moment, he gently pieced back together the heart that had once been shattered. To Jason, it didn't matter when Fiona began to love him. As long as she was by his side, he was willing to be her everything.